Friends, Jikook isn't even trying to hide the fact that they're a real couple anymore, and what happened in Busan confirms it all. Let's start with Busan, where some fans held up signs supporting the couple, and Jungkook, instead of ignoring them, had such a clear reaction that even the most distant camera captured what his face was saying. And pay attention to this, because there's a story about Jungkook's school days explaining why he used to hide his eyes, and when you hear it, you'll understand why he now uses them as his main tool for winning Jimin over. And even though they're sitting apart, the need to find each other with their eyes is so typical of a committed couple that it's almost painful to see how beautiful it is. Stay until the end of the video because today we're going to analyze this definitive proof. During the soundcheck in Busan, many people in attendance held signs supporting Jimin and Jungkook. All eyes turned to Jungkook to see how he would react to the Jikook signs. As everyone knows, Jungkook is someone who can't hide his feelings. When something crosses his mind, his face reveals it before he can even utter a word. Seeing his reaction was a very clear indication of how he felt at that moment, as his expressions betrayed his peace of mind upon seeing the support of his fans. Over the years, neither Jimin nor Jungkook has shown any annoyance when someone displays signs, gives them gifts, or makes affectionate gestures related to them as a couple. On the contrary, they simply go about their business, talking to people and calmly enjoying the moment. This demonstrates that their relationship is something they naturally accept in front of everyone, regardless of who is watching or what kind of signs people in the audience are holding. What was captured in that Busan video is yet another moment that further unites the entire group of fans who support Jimin and Jungkook. The footage shows that the two are comfortable with the affection they receive and don't need to hide their connection. Every time something like this happens, people say the same thing: it's clear proof that they are together and have no problem letting the world see how they treat each other and how they look at each other when they're close. A former classmate of Jungkook's recounted that he had a very unusual way of behaving in school, unlike the other students. It turns out that Jungkook always let his bangs cover almost his entire face because he felt his eyes drew too much attention. At the time, his classmates thought he might have bumped or hurt himself, but the truth was he didn't want anyone to focus so much on his gaze. The classmate explained that Jungkook would spend a lot of time fixing his hair in front of the mirror, just to make sure his eyes were well hidden under his bangs. This was because he knew his eyes were very striking and preferred to keep them to himself. It was a way of protecting himself from the attention of others, a habit he repeated every day to avoid drawing attention to that part of his face that, even as a child, stood out much more than anything else. Now it all makes sense when we see how Jungkook looks at Jimin today. That look he tried to hide as a child is the same one that now makes us all feel they have something very special. It's no coincidence that with just one look, he can leave everyone amazed. It's the same intensity as always, but now focused entirely on Jimin, confirming how strong the bond is that has united them as a couple for so long. At one of the concerts, we saw something very specific. Jungkook picked up the camera and, almost instinctively, began searching for Jimin to film him. While he continued singing, he focused the lens directly on Jimin, making sure not to lose sight of him for a single second. It's a very clear action that shows who is the most important person to him when he's on stage. It's not something that goes unnoticed, since Jungkook chooses to dedicate his time in front of the camera to capturing Jimin instead of doing anything else in front of thousands of people. These kinds of gestures confirm that Jimin is always the center of his attention, no matter where he is. When Jungkook picks up the camera, his first reaction is to look for his partner, showing that his priority is Jimin even when things get intense. It's a behavior that is constantly repeated in his performances and teaches us how his mind works. In the middle of a crowded show, he always finds a way to make Jimin the focus of his attention. Seeing this is incredibly moving for those of us who follow their relationship, because it proves that he doesn't need words to show how he feels. The simple act of searching for Jimin with his camera while he works demonstrates that his mind is always on him. It's a constant reminder that, for Jungkook, no one else on stage can take away the special place he gives Jimin, and these images make that abundantly clear to everyone who observes their interactions. It's breathtaking to watch Jimin and Jungkook always have those moments on stage that seem to belong just to them. They suddenly stop, stand face to face, gaze into each other's eyes, and sing that part of the song directly to one another. For a few seconds, the rest of the stadium disappears, creating a private space between them, as if they were completely alone in the middle of a crowded place. It's a very clear and direct sign of the deep connection they share as a couple, something they don't try to hide. That chemistry they have is undeniable, even when they're performing in front of a huge crowd. When they look at each other like that while singing, it's clear that the rest of the world and the noise of the concert simply don't matter to them. It's not a coincidence that these moments happen so often, it's how they keep their bond alive and present, no matter where they are or who's watching. It shows that their relationship is strong and that they take care of it themselves in the public eye. For those of us who observe every detail, these moments confirm that the two of them are inseparable. When they manage to tune out the noise of the concert to focus solely on each other, they show us that what they have is real and deeply personal. It's this connection that makes Jikook so special, because even under the pressure of a giant stage, they remain themselves, gazing at each other as if no one else exists. It's seeing how love manifests itself in simple acts before thousands of eyes that witness how they only have eyes for one another. Did any of you notice this new angle on their interaction? The way Jungkook searches for Jimin with his eyes while smiling, almost as if he's completely melting from Jimin's reaction, is immediately noticeable and has captured everyone's attention. Jimin, for his part, lights up instantly, his face completely changing as soon as he notices Jungkook smiling at him from afar, displaying immediate happiness. Even when they're not doing the same thing and are in separate places, they manage to give us this pure and natural display of affection, confirming what we're all seeing and analyzing in this video. It's impressive to note that, even though they're physically separated, the connection between them doesn't break for a second and remains intact throughout the entire event. Jungkook, despite sitting a bit far from Jimin, keeps looking for him whenever he has the slightest opportunity, turning his head to check what his partner is doing. It's a behavior they repeat constantly throughout the event, demonstrating that even though they're not side by side, their minds are focused on the same thing. They find a way to be present for each other, ensuring that the distance between them isn't an obstacle to remaining united in front of everyone else. Seeing them search for each other with their eyes is a direct sign that their relationship works at all times, regardless of what's happening around them or how many people are present. They don't need to be holding hands or whispering in each other's ears to show that they're still thinking about each other while everyone else is distracted by what's happening in front of them. For those of us who carefully observe each video and each shot, it's a fact that reaffirms their bond as a couple. It's proof that, no matter where they're seated, they always find a way to meet each other visually, making it clear that they care for each other, seek each other out, and that their attention never wavers. This way of communicating with their eyes teaches us that there's an understanding between them that doesn't require words or exaggerated actions to be completely real. While everyone else is focused on the event, Jungkook's attention remains on Jimin, and Jimin's response to that glance shows he's been waiting for that moment with the same intensity from his own seat. It's in these small details, captured from new angles by those in attendance, that the strength of their relationship shines through, demonstrating that their number one priority never changes, even when a physical distance prevents them from speaking directly. The insistence with which Jungkook turns in Jimin's direction reveals his need to know how he's doing and to share that knowing smile. Jimin, by responding instantly, makes it clear that he's keeping a close eye on Jungkook's movements, creating a direct channel of communication that only the two of them fully understand. Many people say they go their separate ways in their daily routines, but when a song brings them together on stage, moments occur that are completely impossible to ignore for those of us who are attentive to their every move. Suddenly, that special phrase arrives in the music, the lyrics become more profound, and Jimin and Jungkook exchange a fixed glance that lasts barely a second, accompanied by a clear smile that appears right in the middle of the song, when they should be focused on the show. At that precise moment, all of us who wholeheartedly support Jikook already know exactly what's happening between them without needing any explanation. No matter how much they try to keep singing and dancing as if nothing is happening around them, the strong connection they have as a couple betrays them time and again in front of the enormous crowd watching them. It's completely obvious that they share a kind of unspoken joke or secret amidst thousands of people watching them from every corner of the stadium, and although no one in the audience can hear what they're thinking, we can all see that feeling reflected directly in the intensity of their eyes. We love observing these little moments that arise naturally between the notes and melodies of the concerts. Seeing how quickly their eyes meet, how their faces light up when they see each other face to face, and how they transform a simple verse of a song into an unforgettable memory for the fandom, is a clear indication that their relationship remains strong, vibrant, and very close in any situation of their daily work. This constant behavior shows us that the connection between Jungkook and Jimin doesn't fade for a single second when they're working under the pressure of a live show. Every time a romantic song or a slow tune plays over the speakers, their eyes automatically search for each other across the stage, confirming that they dedicate the most important and meaningful parts of the songs to one another. For those who meticulously analyze each of their videos on social media, these direct actions are the most genuine and authentic signs of their emotional connection, demonstrating that, regardless of the pressure of the concert or the number of cameras capturing their faces, they always find the perfect moment to remind each other that they are together and that they support each other in everything. At the end of the day, these interactions on stage become the clearest proof that what exists between them is something constant that cannot be paused or hidden for long. Every smile shared while holding the microphone and every step they take to get closer to each other confirms that their priority is to stay connected, using music as the perfect excuse to be close. For the entire group of fans who celebrate their relationship, seeing how they transform a massive concert into a private and exclusive moment for the two of them is what makes Jikook such a strong, direct, and real bond, demonstrating that their love always finds a way to shine through a simple yet powerful look on stage. South Korean media outlets reported on Jimin's remarkable achievement. He retained his title as the world's top-rated K-pop dancer for the 7th consecutive year. The Korean press highlighted this new milestone in his career, noting that he was once again chosen as the #1 dancer in the entire industry. Expert reports emphasized Jimin's unique stage presence and exceptional dance skills, demonstrating his mastery of any performance. This level of media recognition is rare, highlighting the consistency of an artist who continues to surpass himself year after year, proving why he remains at the pinnacle of global success. Official data confirms that Jimin secured first place in the 2026 K-pop Male Idol Dancer Ranking, a major global poll conducted by the website King Choice, which concluded on May 31st. With this direct result, Jimin continued his perfect streak and secured his record of #1 for 7 consecutive years, a feat unmatched by anyone else in the current music industry. This success comes as no surprise to those familiar with his story from a young age, as he entered Busan Arts High School as the top student in the entire dance department and graduated with the highest overall grade point average in his class thanks to his daily dedication. From the very beginning of his music career, Jimin debuted as the main dancer and lead vocalist of his group, bearing the immense responsibility of performing the most complex choreography for every song they released. His talent has been a key factor in his group's global recognition for their breathtaking stage performances and flawless, coordinated movements. For all of us who closely follow Jikook, Jimin's enormous success fills us with pride, as this recognition directly confirms that Jungkook has a legendary, incredibly talented artist by his side, one who is respected by the entire specialized press in his country. This achievement for 7 consecutive years demonstrates that Jimin's effort and dedication continue to bear fruit at the highest level of current music, without losing relevance in the face of emerging new groups. Korean media outlets meticulously detailed how his training in classical and modern dance completely sets him apart from any other artist, allowing him to shine brightly in every live performance. Knowing how much Jungkook admires, nurtures, and supports Jimin's talent in every rehearsal and concert, this press recognition is further proof of why they complement each other so well on and off stage, making it clear that Jimin's talent is something the entire music world truly respects. Ultimately, this kind of news confirms that Jimin's value as an artist is undeniable and that his position as #1 is stronger than ever. Jungkook has witnessed firsthand all the sweat and hard work Jimin puts into every dance step, making this triumph even more meaningful for them as a couple. Seeing Jimin succeed in this way and maintain his legacy intact for 7 consecutive years demonstrates that his talent is unique, and we love seeing his dedication rewarded globally, solidifying him as the best dancer and the perfect partner to share success at the top of the industry.